Alright, I 3 axle shafts back in the C-clip that pin. I did a disc drum brake eliminate. It's the parking brake has a drum inside of the rotor. I eliminated that. I don't need a parking brake. That shit's junk. So that's been tossed in the bin. I didn't put the cover back on because I'm painting that, doing something a little stupid, a little fun. Gotta have some fun with it. And I got the rear out, and there's just 4 bolts. This side, 4 bolts on that side, and then I just dropped that one big bolt for the leaf spring. Just came right out. And should be pretty easy to go back in. Once the diff cover's back on, I'm gonna let it dry. Throw it back in, and it should bolt right in. And I'll let you know which combination of U-bolts and bottom perches I use to keep it together. But I showed you these. I got these all drilled out, so the axle's almost ready to go in, and then I'll be working on flex plate and trying to get the tranny in. Okay, we got the rear moved. We'll make our way to the back of the truck in a minute, but I got a Dirty Dingo power steering pulley. It's much smaller. It also has a lock nut on there. This isn't the right belt. This shorter one should be here tomorrow. I just drew it on there for shits and giggles. So then that'll be done. I pulled the flex plate out. I'll be ordering the proper one and spacer and longer bolts for it. I need to get the part number off the injectors tonight because I'm sending the computer out to get the security disabled on it. You could see, I don't know if you noticed, but the rear is a little bit wider. I have really wide fenders. I mean, I almost feel like it's sitting a little higher, but I might be making that up. That's what I did to the diff cover. Oh, let me grab a flashlight. Yeah, we used the Ford Explorer U-bolts in the S10 lower perches. We got a new brake hose on there. Still got to connect it up top. But same thing on this side. It's on there. Got the brakes on. Grease the slides and the calipers. To get those Ford U-bolts in the S10 perches, this is the Ford one. I'm just going to show you. This is basically like the U-bolts would slide in here. The original holes were about here on the S10 ones. And I had to slot them out clearly. You can see they're wider. The Ford ones are wider. So the holes were here and you had to drill them out wider. So I just wish I had a plasma cutter or something like that. Could have just notched them or a torch. But I drilled them and then ovaled them out with a die grinder. It took forever, but they're in there. They're torqued. And we're sitting pretty good right now. So that's done, and I also picked these up yesterday. It was a score. Some bucket seats. Not for $100. They're not mounted or nothing yet. They don't have locks in the back, so whatever they hit, that's where they're going to recline. I'm gonna weld in the floor and weld in the corners, mount the seats, and then get the tranny in. Then I can know if I have to notch the tunnel, raise the tunnel, whatever. Then I can mount the fuel pedal, all that. And then once the fabrication and all that's done, then I can start the wiring process. But we're getting way closer. I think this is gonna wrap up this video. Cert belt's on there. That new pulley. Just did that today. Did a lot of welding today. Ran out of gas tonight. Saturday night. I won't be able to get gas till Monday. Yeah. Started fixing this lower sill. And put a plate there. One on the side. And then I got a hole in the floor, so a little patch panel looked a little shitty to me. So I took that big sheet I had, and I just cut a square out. I have one cut for the other side, but I can't weld it or do nothing with it. I just was able to finish that. The back side of this material has this shitty, greasy oil. And I tried cleaning it, but it leaves this milky white residue. I gotta come back and grind it. It's really hard to weld this, or at least for me anyways. It's really thin metal, shitty, got some oil on it, and I run out of gas. Don't have a lot going for it. This still isn't the strongest. If I put a strip at the end here, it's gonna hit. So I'm gonna probably strengthen up the back side of it with that flat stock, like 1/8 inch or 3/16. Run a strip here. I'd like to run one across the top here, just to strengthen up. I still want to run it across underneath. I got all the pieces cut out for the other side. I filled this gap in here. Got to come back and grind a little bit and shit. But I got a couple pieces cut for this side. Gotta leave that, but I got moved, and I just got to. Well, I gotta put a patch inside the glove box, and then I just got to. I might use this piece, but I gotta make a little triangle piece for that. It's the same cutout for the other side. I just did two 15 by 15s, and they fit in there. And just got to make a little piece up here, over here, an edge, grind it, weld it. Do basically the same thing on this side. Mount the seats. Underneath that seat, there's, I don't know if it was a drain, but something for the factory fuel tank, so I gotta cover that. And in the corners. But we did a lot. The rear's in, I showed that. The U-bolts are tightened down. Yeah, so that's gonna be it till I get gas. Updates might be a little bit slower because the welding's time consuming. I'm gonna do that. I'm ordering the flex plate tonight. Sending the computer out Monday also. That should come back soon. And then once the tranny's in, I can convert that plug on the side to the other wiring harness, the 4L60Es, 4L80 to 4L60 wiring. So I gotta convert that. Maybe I'll show some of that and then throw that in here. I might depin some stuff on the harness, but nothing crazy. I want to run everything stock as possible and just keep going with that. Hoping to have it started up here within the next couple of weeks. And once I get the parts in for the flex plate, I'm going to measure for a drive shaft, and then it won't be long after that and the wiring, and then I just gotta plumb fuel lines, brake lines, stupid shit like that.